Alright, Halloween Kills. Wow, we're back. It's really weird to say that this movie only came out 2 years ago. That's really... It's felt like a lot longer. But I digress. Halloween Kills 2021. Features returning characters from Halloween 2018, such as Laurie Strode, Allison, and Karen. Hawkins returns. And yeah, the main leads return. You got James Jude Courtney reprising his role as the Shape, and holy shit! If we're just talking about Michael alone, just him on his own, you would think this is the best movie of all of mankind, but it's much more deeper than that. They put all the focus in on Michael being a badass. They forgot about the story. And you must be wondering, what do you mean? The story is he's just killing? Yes, exactly. The story is just him killing motherfuckers. And Laurie talking about how he's going to fight him in Halloween Ends. That's all it is. If we're really, really simplifying this movie has no story. It's just a movie so Michael can have his fun slaying bodies. That's all this is. And you can't tell me otherwise. We first start out with finding out what happened to Michael back in 1978, how he was captured by Officer Hawkins when he was a rookie back in 1978. Him and a few cop buddies, they apprehended Michael, managed to shoot one in the throat in the process, but, whatever. It's just whatever. And within the first 10 minutes, we establish how stupid are these people. First of all, we get returning characters that we didn't get in Halloween 2018, but instead from Halloween 1978, such as a Marion, the nurse that was hanging around Dr. Loomis back in 1978, and in Halloween 2, she's back. Tommy Doyle's back, played by a different actor, not by the kid he was played by back in Halloween 1978, but he's back. Tommy Doyle's back, and then we got Lindsay, playing by Kyle Richards. She returned to reprise her role as Lindsay over 40 years later. And this movie is legit just about them getting slaughtered, except for Lindsay. She just doesn't really do anything. But that's besides the point. I don't know why you bring back a character if you're just not going to do anything. Don't understand. I'm cool if you want to bring back legacy characters. That's not my issue. My issue is if you don't do anything with them. You got to do shit with them. There's got to be a purpose with every single frame of the movie you make. I'm not a professional guy myself, but I know for a fact that every frame, every angle, every mannerism, every word spoken, every story beat told, it all has to have a purpose. And if you're just showing us meaningless shit that isn't going to matter in the next movie, it really is going to fucking suck. And you must be wondering, what in the world am I talking about? I'm talking about Officer Hawkins. He made a big deal about feeling bad, how he didn't kill Michael back when he was younger, and how he feels remorse and how he wants to be the one to kill him. And Laurie's like, no, it has to be me. My thing is, it should have been both of them doing it at Halloween Ends, so it would complete the fucking story. It's an incomplete story. I'll get to Hawkins and Halloween Ends. Don't worry about that. But you must be wondering, and by the way, Hawkins does nothing in this movie either, too. Except in the flashbacks, because he's fucking hurt for the whole fucking movie. And wait a minute. Now, speaking of which, let's flash back to Halloween 2018. Dr. Sartain stabbed you in the neck and then proceeded to stab you multiple times and then ran your ass over just for added insult to injury. You're telling me I'm supposed to believe that man's still alive? He's a good character. Will Patton's a good actor. He's a good character, don't get me wrong. But how am I supposed to believe he's still alive? He's a good character. I mean, I would like him to be alive. He could be useful. He can do so much more. He can. I know what kind of actor Will Patton is. He could pretty much lead a movie. I've seen him do it. But that's besides the point. I don't understand how he's alive. But that's besides the point. No point of him being alive if he's not going to fucking follow up on what he said in this movie, in the next movie. Because the next movie is about entirely something different, even unrelated to that. And we'll get to that when we get to Halloween Ends. But I'm not going to do a play-by-play like I did back in 2021. I'm just going to explain to you, I understand it's a horror movie. People have to make mistakes so the killer can take advantage. I understand that. But at what point are these decisions so idiotic, so stupid, that it makes you scratch your head and be like, what? Are these normal human beings? Or are these a plot device so that Michael can just kill him? Because right now, it's looking like the latter. Yes. So yeah, you must be wondering, how did Michael escape from what he went through in 2018? How he was trapped in the basement. So something really simple happened. The firefighters were called on a house fire, on being on fire. That's really interesting, because that just makes me think, why did Laurie do that knowing that the firefighters are just going to do that anyways? Why not find a different way to kill Michael? Why not just tie him up and chop his fucking head off? You know, it's whatever. But the firefighters put out the fire. The firefighters, I don't even think that they're stupid. Like, they're just doing their job, and they don't even, like, their dome pieces are on house being on fire. So I can kind of understand. But here's the thing. We don't know how Michael escapes, and I like that. We don't see him, the process of him getting up and then walking out of the house. You keep the mystique. Of Michael. I like that. Like I said, everything they did with Michael in this movie, fucking excellent. I think this is the best Michael Myers of all time. If we're looking at Michael Myers specifically, they got one big thing perfect, but they couldn't nail anything else. They have issues with not nailing everything. So, yeah. Michael is pissed off in this movie, and you can fucking tell. I love he wasn't angry in 2018, but he still had brute force. Here, he is pissed, and you can tell he's pissed. He's just trying to do his fucking thing, and these guys want to fucking trap me, do this shit. And I like what Michael does when he meets up with Allison in his house. He looks at her like, wait a minute, I remember you. I like that. It's little shit like that I like. The attention to detail. Yeah. So, like, everything about Michael in this movie is perfection. So, with that being said, let's get to the ending. Michael kills Allison's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or whatever. I guess they made amends after he cheated. I don't fucking know. Allison is hurt. Michael got her fucking leg injured. I don't know what the fuck it was. Like something with her knee. She's fucking hurt bad. She can't walk, barely walk. And you know what this motherfucker Michael does? This motherfucker proceeds to beat the ever-living shit out of her boyfriend right in front of her, knowing she can't do nothing about it. That's fucking evil. That's if that's not evil, I don't know what is. If that's not evil, I don't know. I don't know, guys. What's higher than that? I don't know what else is more evil. And then as he's about to put the finishing touches on this brutality, he walks down the stairs like he's going to go back after Allison, so he's going to be okay. This motherfucker proceeds when he's like on the step, that's where he can get a hold of him. This motherfucker proceeds to twist his neck 360 fucking degrees. Like, dude, relax. Jesus Christ. He needs to relax. And then Michael has the strength to easily overpower her. Michael is playing with this prey. He's playing with this prey. That's what he's doing with Allison right now. But Michael had no idea that Mama Karen would be on the rescue, saving her daughter. And I didn't like Karen in the first movie. I'll admit that. But in this one, she redeemed herself for me. She redeemed herself. The way she helped that fucking mental patient that was confused with Michael Myers and what she did here, she redeemed herself for me. But she does something really goofy to ruin it at the end. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So you know what Karen's plan is? He's going to have Tommy Doyle and the rest of Haddonfield, or just 12 people in Haddonfield, for that matter. Not everybody. You know, we're on a budget here, guys. Come on now. She takes his mask off, knowing that his mask is the key to everything. Knowing Michael wants that mask, how much that mask means to Michael. She leads him into a trap. Michael at first gets his ass beat, and then all of a sudden, they just go at him one at a time for some dumb reason. They were doing just fine before all going at him at once, but now they lose brain cells and don't do what worked. You had him. What you did, just do what you did before. What? Nah, instead they just allow him to kill one by one. And while that happening, we get a monologue like Dr. Loomis from Laurie Strode saying, oh, he gets stronger the more he kills. And we see that in Halloween Ends. We do. They actually say that, and they actually do it in Halloween Ends. But they didn't do it here. Because if that's the case, this motherfucker killed like 12 fucking people. If he's not like maximum level or like maximum plus or whatever you want to call it, there's something wrong. Because he killed like 12, 15 people in just this one fucking backlot right here. And for the final kill of the movie, Karen sees little Michael, a young Michael, in the window. She, for some reason, goes up there. I don't know why she was even allowed to go up. It's a fucking crime scene. They won't allow... I'm just thinking with logic and common sense, guys. I have to use logic and common sense for me to believe what's happening on screen. Why? Why does she go up there? And within a matter of seconds of killing like 12 to 15 people, Michael's just there in his house. He's just there. We saw how long it took Michael to get there from his house. And it was way fucking shorter, dog. Don't fuck with me. Michael teleported. You want to say he's supernatural in one movie and then say he's a human in another. That's not how this shit works. You stick with one and stick with it. If you want Michael to be human, I don't necessarily like that, but that's your prerogative. But be consistent with what you're trying to tell us about Michael. Don't make him this immortal god in one movie and then make him this weak punk bitch in another movie. That I can't stand that shit. That's you established him as this beast and then he's just but we'll get to Halloween Ends. But yes, it ends with Michael killing Karen in the window. And then he just stares out his window and you see the radio tower. Which you're thinking, oh, it could play a big role in Halloween Ends. No, we're just looking at it for a few shots. Yep. Man, a lot of people took what DDG said a little too literally. Thinking it was going to be like the main plot or like a big, way bigger part of the movie when it wasn't. It was literally just in a lot of background shots. That's all it really was. But we'll get to Halloween Ends. So, you must be wondering, what is my final rating for this movie? I gave it a 6 last time. That was a little too generous. I was in a good mood that day, and I was pissed off, but it's definitely a 5.5 out of 10. Definitely a 5.5 out of 10. This movie, they only got one thing perfect about this movie, and it was Michael. And then they fuck it all up in Halloween Ends, and I understand if they, you know what, I'll talk about all that in Halloween Ends when I get there. But anyways, 5.5 out of 10. I'll see you guys for the last review of this month. Bye, guys.